Oh, there's one other pro tip that I want to call out. So I took this down off the stand before I was able to wipe down or re-wax the chain, and wasn't really planning to, but I think I might. And the pro tip is, if you want to pedal backwards on an e-bike, it's no fun because it spins freely, and pedaling forward means you have to be spinning the tire. But you actually can, with a 5mm on these 104 BCD, pedal backwards and treat it like a regular bike chain. I don't remember where I saw this tip, but I like to you can just literally, with a wax chain, you can just wipe this down and call it good after a ride. I might actually throw on a little bit of drip wax because I've just re-waxed it, or I guess waxed it for the first time. So I'll throw a little drip wax. I'll do another video on how I do the Silka chain wax thing. I could imagine somebody thinking it's super overkill, but I like it a lot. It wasn't that hard to do. Probably took me 20 minutes, maybe 30, including getting the chain on and off. But then you can add some drip wax later if you like. I think it's completely optional, but I like to make sure that these things stay pretty water and dirt tight. Like I said, I've got my 5mm hex wrench, so I think what they say is that the best thing to do is dab it right before it goes on the rear cog, so it gets an immediate bend, and that sucks the most liquid into it, and it'll dry, the water evaporates, and leaves just a film of wax in there. And I used to just be really sloppy about this, and I gathered there was another kind of wax I was using, and it was so much, and it gathered so much that it actually started collecting in the chainring and started causing some skipping in the chainring, which actually accelerated wear and just this whole downward spiral. I would have been better off lubricating less, even less often, I think. So now I'm a little bit more finicky about the way that I apply lube. Even this is a little much. You're gonna see this drip, and I'm gonna have to wipe it down. It's all right. I'm just sort of taken to the idea that if I take care of my bike, it'll take care of me, and that's treated me pretty well in the last few months. So I like it. Don't mind doing this work. It takes an extra 15 to 20 minutes after a ride to wash it every 2 to 3 rides. Get the dust off of it. Keep it running tip top. Check my air pressures before every ride. Get a consistent experience. And I didn't check my tire pressure actually before the last ride, and found myself wondering like why my bike wasn't as playful and poppy, and it was like, oh, I'd lost 4 or 5 psi because the sealant hadn't really set up in the tube yet. I have new wheels and tires, and it takes a few rides for that to start firming up. I might need another ounce or 2 of sealant in the tube. Anyway, you get a nice, consistent experience, and when your bike behaves the way you predict it's going to, it's a literal safer bike. So if I'm going to be pushing my limits, I don't want my bike to have any surprises in it. So this kind of care shows up in my ride, and I can tell, and it feels good. It feels good to care for the things that take care of me and help me have a good time. That's it. Let's give it a couple of turns. And we'll call it. That is a cleaned, lubricated, got a few drips to clean up of wax. Maybe get the excess wax off the chain. But that'll all dry, evaporate, and I'll have a chain that's just, I think this is going to last a good long time. My last chain, my chain and cassette, I had to tear everything out and replace it after about 650, 700 miles. So, I mean, I know Levos are tough on their chains, but that seems excessive. So I'm going to do a better job looking after this and see if I can kind of hypermile this chain and cassette setup. Because I don't want to spend $300 and some odd every 700 miles. It doesn't take me long to ride that much on this bike. All right, clean bike, full hearts, can't lose.